On December 23rd, 2022, Major League Baseball reinstated Trevor Bauer after a 2-year suspension was reduced to 194 games, which he had already served. It was always possible the Dodgers released Bauer, who's entering the final year of a 3-year contract he signed in 2020, but given the Dodgers' rotation, he could have been a big-time addition. The Dodgers ended up releasing him anyways, despite owing him $22 million this year, and Bauer officially becomes a free agent. So in this video, we're going to break down the top 8 landing spots based on fit and need. Before we get into the video, welcome to MLB Updates 365, a baseball channel discussing all types of topics. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do so. Now let's get into the video. Starting things off with the New York Mets, who don't really need Trevor Bauer, as they signed Justin Verlander, Kodai Senga, and Jose Quintana this offseason for their rotation, but you can never count out Steve Cohen. Bauer was also close to signing with the Mets in 2020 before ultimately signing with the Dodgers, and who knows what happens with Carlos Correa at this point, and if he doesn't sign, maybe the Mets pivot to him. Next up, we had the Toronto Blue Jays, who were interested in Bauer 2 off-seasons ago, and it's possible the interest is still there this time around. Although they added Chris Bassett, the back end of the rotation is questionable with Jose Barrios and Yusei Kikuchi, and a Bauer signing could put them over the top in the AL East. Going into 2023, the Phillies currently have a hole in the number 5 spot in the rotation, and it's possible top prospect Andrew Painter takes over that role, but he's still only 19 and thrown just over 100 innings in the minors. Bauer is familiar with Phillies pitching coach Caleb Cotham, who was the pitching coach in Cincinnati during his Cy Young season, and he has publicly praised Cotham for his knowledge and drive. Trevor Bauer is a California native. He played his college ball at UCLA and signed with the other Los Angeles team in free agency 2 years ago, so it appears he likes playing in Southern California. The Angels had one of the better rotations last year statistically, but adding Bauer and forming a 1-2 punch along Shohei Ohtani would be lethal and could put the Angels over the hump as they try to end the longest playoff drought in baseball. It's almost all but certain Bauer will take a short-term deal, hoping to build back his value and cash in next offseason, and the Atlanta Braves are notorious for short-term, high AAV deals. As things currently stand right now, the Braves rotation has some question marks at the back end of the rotation, and if Atlanta wants to repeat as NL champions, with the Mets and Phillies both improving, bringing in Bauer could help reassure that. Out of any team on this list, the St. Louis Cardinals could use Bauer's services on the field the most. Going into next season, the Cardinals lack a true ace, and Bauer could come in and be that guy. He's also familiar with the NL Central, as he pitched for the Cincinnati Reds from 2018 to 2020 and won a Cy Young there during his tenure. St. Louis needs pitching, but so do the Boston Red Sox, as heading into 2023, this is their projected rotation, which is one of the worst in Major League Baseball. Boston says they want to compete, and if that's the case, that isn't happening until they get more starting pitching, and Trevor Bauer can come in and be the ace, and seems like a guy whose personality would fit in Boston. Last but not least, we had the San Diego Padres. To me, Bauer comes off as a little petty, and it would be the ultimate revenge move to sign with the Dodgers' biggest rival in San Diego while they're paying him $22 million this year. San Diego has gone all in this offseason, but they could use another starting pitcher and put either Seth Lugo or Nick Martinez, who were slated to be the 4 and 5 starters, back in the bullpen. Although Trevor Bauer hasn't pitched in an MLB game since June of 2021, he's posted tons of pitching content on his social media channels and stated he's been throwing throughout this entire process to stay ready. There's been talks around the league that Bauer might have a hard time finding a new team, as even before the sexual assault allegations, he was never the most liked player and viewed as a distraction in the locker room. Even with the allegations and the locker room concerns, I think his market will be full of teams, as before the suspension, he was in the midst of another elite season following up his Cy Young campaign. These are my 8 teams with the best chance to sign him in my opinion, but let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree and where you think he ends up signing.